Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know this video has been long overdue and I am so sorry. I did get sick and I had no energy whatsoever. All I wanted to do was rest and sleep. Anyways, let's get right into this. I will add a picture of everything that I used to paint the cabinets later on in the video. I did start by covering the cabinets a little bit to prevent a lot of dust from going in. And yes, I am fully aware that not everything is fully covered. I didn't mind very little dust since I was gonna take everything out to clean when I received my cabinet pullouts and organizers. Make sure to use painter's tape to cover the areas you don't want paint to get on. I then removed all the cabinet doors and placed them in the same order that I removed them in another room so that I can prep them for paint. I started by priming the cabinet frames first with bench shellac primer and sealer, and with this primer I used a soft cloth looking roller, and everything was purchased from Home Depot from that previous picture that I showed you. And you guys, please don't judge me for using a foam plate instead of a paint tray. I fear that for these small projects, if I use a plate, I don't waste a lot of paint that I would with a paint tray. So while I waited for the cabinet frames to dry, I went ahead and started with the cabinet doors, also using the shellac primer. So once the cabinet frames were dried, I sanded the area with extra fine grit paper. I then wiped with a damp cloth and gave it another coat of primer. And I also started priming the cabinet drawers. And I did go back and forth until everything had 3 coats of primer. And then once the primer was fully dried, I went in with Bare Ultra Pure White paint. It's also used for cabinets and it's actually really good. And I did the same thing. I painted, sanded, wiped, and then painted again. I gave this 2 coats of paint and used the soft foam roller. next day I added back the doors to my cabinets, and this is how it turned out, you guys. So the next day, when the paint was fully cured, we added the handles and started working on the backsplash. And you guys, no lie, we brought home about 10 different samples of backsplash because we couldn't find one that matched or one that we truly liked. And then we returned all the backsplash back. We spent hours at Floor and Decor looking at more pieces because they do have more variety. And after seeing this one, we literally fell in love with it. It was really a struggle at first because we were going to have to make a lot of cuts, and since we were doing everything piece by piece, we noticed it was taking us hours to cut like just one piece. So what we did was we cut everything before adding the mortar, because as you can tell, we are not professionals, we are DIYers. So yeah, we decided to cut everything first, and then once everything was done and cut and we knew where every piece was gonna go, we did start cementing. While I was removing on the pieces and putting them like on the countertop, he started adding the mortar, and we did use the Versa Bond gray mortar, also purchased from Home Depot. And you guys, I literally love the outcome. So you guys, this is how it's gonna turn out. It is gonna look a little bit lighter because the grout that I'm gonna be using, it is lighter than what you see in between those gaps. So once the mortar was dry, I used the Poly Blend sanded grout in color Oyster Gray to fill in all the gaps. And I know I didn't get this on camera. I was so excited to finally finish this, and I totally forgot to record that part. So after I grouted, I waited about 15 minutes, and then I used a damp sponge to clean all the excess grout so that everything was smooth. And this is the final outcome, you guys. I'm so in love with how everything turned out. I literally had to wait over 4 years to finally convince my husband it was time to upgrade our kitchen. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, share if this gave you some ideas on what you want to do with your kitchen upgrade, and subscribe to my channel for future DIYs. See you guys on my next video.